Okay, so Breathe, right? It's a new Paramount Plus joint. It is directed by Stefon Bristol, written by Doug Simon. The film is produced by David Herring, Basil Iwanek, Erica Lee, Christine McCree. It's executive produced by Roman Vieires de la Son, Ryan Donald Smith, Emily Hunter Salveson, Rick Salas, Kelvin O'Brien, Pierre Melita, Razana Kegian, John Kang, Esther Hornstein, Joe Gatter, Will Flynn, and Stefon Bristol. Craig Borden is a co-producer. Isabella Summers took care of the music. Philippe Vara Dare is on cinematography. Oriana Sadu edits the piece. Jessica Kelly was down with the casting. Jeremy Reed, production design. Art direction is Kurt Gaifke. Robert Holtzman and Diana Stoughton took care of set decoration. Costume design is Alicia Silverstein. Hair makeup, we've got Angela Lynn Ware, Tamika Tolver, Hilary Shawn, Katie McGregor, Rashida Baldwin, Adelina Atashi. Our cast. Right, so Maya is played by Jennifer Hudson. Common is her husband, Darius. Their daughter, Zora, is played by Quvenzhané Wallis. Then there is Tess, played by Milla Jovovich. Her friend Lucas, played by Sam Worthington. And Micah, their lookout, played by Raul Castillo. There's Mike, played by Dan Martin. Harriet, played by Kaliswa Brewster. The Man, played by James Sato. Lady, who I think might be the voice, right? Played by Sonia Giddings. Kimberly L. Jackson is a survivor. A younger version of Zora, a baby version, played by Madison Lathan. And a kid that we see played by John Xavier Lambert. The gist of the story, right? After Earth is left uninhabitable due to lack of oxygen, her mother Maya and her daughter Zora are forced to live underground, with trips to the surface only made possible by a coveted state-of-the-art oxygen suit made by Maya's husband, Darius, whom she presumes to be dead. When a mysterious couple arrives that claims to know Darius and his fate, Maya agrees to let them into their bunker, but these visitors are not who they claim to be, resulting in a mother and daughter fighting for their survival. Bum, bum, bum. I mean, not quite right, because they didn't really agree to let them in. Right? It's just events all spiraled out of control. It's an interesting concept. I mean, it's not a new concept, right? There's been plenty of films about the end of the world, apocalypse, depleting resources, all of that kind of jazz, So it's just like, all right, let's see what the spin is with this. Because I know Stefon had a kind of a film on Netflix, right? It was what was it called? See You Yesterday. Yeah, that was his first feature. I think he worked on Black Klansman. And I was very curious about See You Yesterday, right? It seemed interesting. I haven't got around to watching it, right? But I know that spun out of a short. So I was curious to see what Breathe was. And there's some, there's certain points of the film that make sense. Like, though we open up, right? We got Darius and his dad going out looking for resources. And an accident happens, right? Actually, I think his dad is Mike. An accident happens, but that's coming, right? You've got two people. It's at the very start of the film, and it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. So the accident is coming. You only know one of them is coming back. It's all a little bit predictable, but our dynamics aren't bad, right? I think you buy the family unit of Darius, Maya, and Zora. It gets a little, like, the Zora is doing we got some narration, and it's Zora, like, giving information. And when she's talking into the radio, that all comes off a bit too scripted, right? There doesn't seem to be the emotion in it, right? The thing that holds it all together, like, that's a bit lacking for me. You know what I mean? Like, you think, if you're talking, like, firstly, if you're trying to talk to your dad, there's going to be a bit more in it, and it's just not there. So then we got Tess and Lucas turn up. And here's a big thing, right? Supposedly Darius designed the suits and everything like this, but Tess and Lucas have basically the same suits, right? The face light is just different. It's red, which is kind of on the nose, like red. Oh, these people are dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like you needed for them to be in different suits for you to go, oh, so Darius is this genius and he's designed all of this stuff. So how is it other people got exactly the same shit? You know what I mean? Like, their suits should have been different. And that would have, like, you know what I mean, given you a different kind of, like, understanding of what's going down. If their suits were kind of mishmashed together, didn't look as good, just all of that kind of stuff. So we have that. But then it is, again, it's those relationships, right? Tess, Lucas, Micah. It's all a bit, I don't know. It doesn't hold up as well. And as the film goes on, like, certain things happen. And you are a bit kind of like, okay, you've been around these people. You know what these people are. You know what I mean? You know how they're going to act. And certain things that are said, certain things that are done, you're just kind of like, wait, why would you do it like that? Like, it would make more logic to approach the thing like this, and it would make you safer. So there are those kind of things where you're scratching your head and you're like, hey, what? What's happening here? Why would you do? Also, you're in a situation where there's potential danger, all of this, right? You've been telling your kid this all the time, be safe, do this, bum bum bum. And you're only carrying around one weapon. I was just a bit, if the world is potentially dangerous, yeah, you'd have your gun. but you'd have backup weapons. Because, yeah, what if you run out of bullets? What if someone's in mad close? What if you don't get a chance to get off more shot? Like, you want backups. And for people that are supposedly so conscientious, it was weird for them not to have the backups. And we'd be like, at least give us a reason why. Right? Maybe it's just like, I can't carry anything else, it's too heavy and it'll throw me off. Or just something to make it make sense. That's what that needed, you know? So there's these things where you're just like, And I think as the film goes on, you're forced to really stretch the imagination, right? Dispel belief even more. And not because of the futuristic settings, the sci-fi element, right? The fantasy of it all. No, it's just the human logic, right? The human logic of people doing things in a certain way. Right, where you're just like, I mean, no, like, you're not doing that. Or, you know, there's better ways of doing it. You know, and we get towards the end. And that kind of whole sequence, there's a lot of things where you're just like, it's a little too convenient. The way certain events roll out, it's very convenient, you know, the thing starts working. It's very convenient that certain things land in a certain way. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh man, what are we doing? You know? So I think the film had more promise than what is actually delivered for the viewer. You know, I feel that it could have been like rolled out, right? Just even the whole Darius situation. Again, right? We've seen this in so many films, but it never fully makes sense. Because obviously, right, you will do anything to protect the ones you love. But I don't believe people are just willing to do certain things, right? Even, you know, it takes a lot to do certain things. And if it was just like, okay, there's a possibility of this. Now, getting through to that, it's hit and miss. But there's a chance. You might go, okay, I'm going to take that chance because then I get back. You know what I mean? Like, so you might not make it, but that's the fault. Right? That's the fault. But to just do the other thing, it's always just a little bit unbelievable. A little bit unbelievable. But we're meant to believe that everyone will do this, you know? And yeah, it just makes me roll my eyes a little bit. Just a little. Yeah. I don't know. Like the very end, again, it's just all very convenient. It's all very convenient. And then we got the whole futuristic element of the film. Right? You know, everyone in this world, and it's, you know, there's not a lot of resources, but everyone is, you know, good haircuts, clean shaven, or, you know, just like body hair. It's like, in this kind of world, everyone, everyone's got beards, essentially. Or just hacked off shorter beards. But no one is like mad clean unless you're taking a rock to a knife and getting it and doing a knife shave. You know what I mean? And then, like, women got hairy legs, hairy armpits. It's just how it would be, because you're not going to the store getting a Gillette or whatever. That shit's not there, right? Nothing's going to look mad clean because you're not wasting water, right? And don't get me wrong. No, I'm not saying everyone's going to walk around just stinking. But like back in the day, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, it was baths once a week. You know what I mean? Like, people weren't, bathing and showering every single day. There just wasn't, the resources for that. So you'd go back to the other thing. So everything is not looking pristine. And this all looked a bit too neat. Even going into the wasteland, it was still a little neat, a little too organized, But, yeah, I don't know, right? Because I haven't seen Stefon's other film, right? See You Yesterday. I don't know how the storytelling in that one was, right? Because it's got a different writer. Right? Stefon did co-write that one. So that might have more logic to it. Might have a better feel. But if you like that, maybe you want to check this one out. Right? I think Milla Jovovich, she's better in this than some of her recent films. The acting was okay. We don't get a whole load of dimensions. You know what I mean? There's not a whole load to these people. There's not really any nuance. So I think if you're, a fan of, was it Wasteland? There was a Monster Hunter, right? Something like Monster Hunter, right? That came out during COVID, didn't it? Right? If that's your bag, then I think check out Breathe, So yeah, it's on. I watched it through Amazon, right? Paramount Plus on Amazon. So, but I think it's all over the shop and all VOD. So if it sounds like it's something for you, people, go get you some Breathe.